John.
Good morning.
All right, so who are you calling out for this week's wingnut on the left?
As you said, a repeat offender, Sen Grayson of Florida, Democrat. Just 1 month ago, he exploded on the scene by saying the Republicans' health care plan was for people to die quickly. And somehow in the intervening weeks, he's managed to double down on the unhingedness. Let's hear two quotes of what he said recently that have given him this week's wingnut of the week.
Fox News and their Republican collaborators are the enemy of America.
She was saying, oh, they don't know the difference between monetarism and fiscal policy and this and that and the other thing. And here I am, the only member of Congress who actually worked as an economist. And she said, this lobbyist, this K Street whore, is trying to teach me about economics.
The Fox News and their Republican collaborators are the enemy of America.
Die quickly.
People come on the air, they insult them as they did me, they cut off their mics as they did me, they shout at them and interrupt them as they did me.
The Republicans want you to die quickly.
They even curse at them as they did me.
This lobbyist, this K Street whore.
Fox News and the National Enquirer are basically interchangeable.
All right, I've had enough. I keep hearing this. I would ignore it otherwise, but I've had enough. I think I know why Sen Grayson hates Fox News. It is not about Fox News. It is about me. Back to me. Really. These wacky tirades of his have nothing to do with whether we're not fair, but whether in one interview in particular, the good congressman was remotely informed with me. I want you to take a look. This is why Sen Grayson hates Fox. He hates me. He remembers me. And he remembers my badgering him a few months ago on this policing CEO pay issue. How far does it go, and what pay grade does it start at?
This bill only talks about unreasonable compensation.
Well, who's defining unreasonable? Who's defining unreasonable?
Seriously, Neil, are any secretaries getting $1 million bonuses? If so, please
then
let me
state
know.
it. Then state it. What is unreasonable to you? Tell me now. What is unreasonable?
If you get a $10 million bonus for destroying your company and putting the whole U.S. economy at risk, that's unreasonable.
Okay, you know what? I would agree.
Prevents.
You know, on that, if you are getting that money and you brought the company under, I'd sign on to this thing with you, Congressman.
That's what this bill does.
Well, did you mention the $10 million thing in this bill?
What do you mean, by number?
Yeah.
No, because that would say that $9,999,990
Did you give me a range?
And we are not saying that it's okay.
Is there a range in this?
No, the Secretary of the Treasury is going to establish the ranges.
But do you see where this is going, Congress? I know your intentions are good, but what you're doing here is putting Congress in the role of determining what is okay and what is not okay, what compensation is excessive and what compensation isn't. Who's to say that this $10 million figure, well, you didn't even give me a range.
Neil, that's just wrong. We can punish bad people without punishing good people. That's what the law does every single day.
You're not even telling me what this law includes, Congressman.
No, I think I did.
No, you didn't. You didn't give me a level and a number. That's all I'm asking.
Well, that's for the Secretary of the Treasury to do. We have separation of powers, Neil. We have a Constitution.
Congressman, you're giving him carte blanche powers, and you're not even defining what those ranges for those powers are. I think as taxpayers, we have a right to know what we're writing off on.
No. We set the general rules. The executive branch executes on them. That's how the Constitution works.
But in the general rules, you're leaving it up to the Treasury to decide what are adequate compensation levels for everyone at that federally rescued company.
Lots of rules are like that, Neil. In the Constitution, we have due process and equal protection. That's all the Constitution says.
What's to stop you from just willy-nilly going after any company you damn well please?
That's ridiculous. No one's contemplating that. Why don't you ask that question to Tim Geithner? Do you think he's going to say a secretary can make no more than $5,000 a year?
I don't know.
That's absurd.
You know what?
This is a paranoid fantasy.
I will ask him because you don't answer a simple question. We have entrusted in you oversight to make sure these abuses don't happen. Your answer to those abuses is, I'm going to police excessive pay. When I ask you what excessive pay is and how you would define it, you didn't even give me a range. I'm not the one insulting you, Congressman. You are the one insulting Americans who have better stock in thinking that their leaders can do a better job. You're humiliating them, not the crooks you say are running the companies.
That's absurd. We're passing a law that stops a bad thing from happening. You're creating these parade of horribles that will never happen.
All right.
I just told you what would happen.
But
the bad thing is that $160 million.
If the Treasury gives me a range, God bless them, because I've asked you every which way I know to give me a range. Either you couldn't or wouldn't or felt that you shouldn't. We pay you, Congressman. Act like it.
Neil, I'm not the one using profanity on the air. I'm not the one interrupting the guest to show incredible rudeness on the air. I'm simply the one trying to answer your questions and make America a better place.
I'll tell you what I'm rude to guests. When they don't answer a question, all taxpayers have a right to know. That is when I'm rude.
Well, you're being very rude.
So be it. We'll have more after this. All right. I said damn, so I guess that's cursing. I'm sorry. But I never cut off his mic. I went to a commercial. He was done. I was done. But apparently I did create a nut by rudely interrupting a nut and demanding repeatedly a simple answer to a not-so-nutty, simple question. How far is too far for a government dictating people's pay? It is a very important question, my friends. The congressman wouldn't say, and that drove me nuts. It almost affected my appetite that night. Fortunately, I got over it. Had I only known I was dealing with a nut, and one who much prefers softball interviews, apparently, or barring that, no interviews at all. So now you know. My friend Bill O'Reilly has his no spin zone. From here on out, I have something else. A no nut zone. That's the real story behind Alan Grayson. He won't tell you. I just did. That's fair and balanced.